Field. It's Trojan soccer as their final match of the year. They take on Justin Siena next on Trojan Live.
Touchdown, Trojans! Unbelievable!
And a very good evening. I'm Griffin Epstein. We welcome you up top, Steve Ellison Field. A special night, 3 seniors honored for the Petaluma varsity boys soccer team in their final match of the year. They'll look at to go out on top against the Justin Siena Braves. We're underway. Petaluma in the purple with the white piping. Justin Siena in the white. Trojans have not won a game since early January. They did have 2 nice performances last week, 2 draws, but they're coming off a 4-1 loss to Sonoma Valley. First time out, Justin Siena knocked off Petaluma 2-1, and it was the Braves' first victory of the season. And that has really catapulted them forward. First victory of VVAL, I should say. Braves now have 3 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws in VVAL. Petaluma will finish in last in league this year. They're 1-6-2. A lot of injuries. We'll get into it more as the game goes on, as Davis clears it. But it's been a rough year for the Trojans in terms of injuries, staying healthy. And it was a very promising start to the season. Some impressive victories. And Petaluma is the only team in VVAL this year to get a result on the league champion Vintage Crushers, which is a remarkable accomplishment. That was their first game of the year. Petaluma beat American Canyon in their second VVAL game, and since then they have not won another game. And it's been injuries that have primarily been the main culprit. There's also plenty of youth. See DeMauro, the freshman there. Trojans have had to call up JV players. They've been so injured. There's been a lot to work with. But 3 seniors tonight, part of the experience and leadership that's held this team together. The Trojans get it down the flank. Cortez De Leon spinning in the box. And the Braves will clear it. Nice energy to start here. This game means a lot for Petaluma. You know they're going to bring a lot of energy. Oh, just looked a little tentative there. It's one of the Trojans' JV call-ups. Duff. Juarez. The Braves take it away. Nice open, though, and this game looks wide open. We're expecting some goals here tonight. Trojans had a great defense early in the year. They lost Ethan Ford, the goalkeeper, the rest of the year. Since then, there's been lots of goals. Cortez De Leon, save is made. An excellent opportunity for the Trojans' leading scorer, sophomore Pablo Cortez De Leon. But the Braves able to come up with the save. And they're smarting from a 7-0 defeat to a league champion Vintage. Nonetheless, they've improved a lot this year. These are the 2 youngest teams in the Vine Valley. The talent is there. Putting it all together has been at times a struggle, no doubt. Here on this Thursday night, Petaluma, the sun has just set with this beautiful Ellison Field, and Cortez De Leon, what a start he's having, all the way into the box, and just wasn't able to get a chip or settle it down. The Braves with a victory tonight will clinch a 4th place spot in Vine Valley, and considering halfway through league play they didn't have a victory, would be a remarkable accomplishment for Felipe Nieto's squad. It's a legendary head coach at Napa, decided to retire, but often you get the itch to coach again, and he's worked a challenge at Justin Siena, not a program known for its soccer. The private Catholic school in Napa. That one is offside. So we're 4 minutes in, no score. Trojans were mentioning their 2 impressive results last week. Cortez De Leon, take number 3, the cross. Unable to finish was DeMauro. Rebound, cleared at the line. That one nearly just trickled in, but the Braves able to clear it. What a chaotic start to this one. On this senior night, the Trojans have brought the energy and then some. What an impressive open to this one. This is dangerous, and just having to be cleared. See if the Braves can get into a rhythm. They're leaving all sorts of things open on the back end for Petaluma, and the always dangerous Cortez de Leon, which frustrates even the best defenses in the state, such as Vintage, can be an issue. That one's right to Trojan keeper Duff, who has had to come into emergency duty after Trojan starter, who was so good this year for Petaluma, got hurt. And that was probably the biggest injury of them all, though. On the back end, the defense is definitely seen its issues. Quinn Davis has been in and out a lot this year with injuries. David Swanson out the rest of the year. Kind of everything that could go wrong started to go wrong halfway through this year. Cortez de Leon, what speed, all alone, and a hard play. And Leon in some pain. As they might have taken a little bit of a boot from the keeper. Leon just needing to work on his touch. He's awfully close. Ethan Ford, the goalkeeper for Trojans halfway through this year, got hurt. The junior really done a nice job early in the year. Petaluma only allowed 11 goals in their first 9 games of the season. Since then, the score sheet's not pretty at all on the defensive end. 4 goals they gave up to a bottom 6th place Sonoma team on Tuesday night at Sonoma. Gotta catch your breath. We already have 7 minutes gone here. Players running up and down the field. This has been a wild one. Trojans 3 seniors tonight. Defender Quinn Davis, midfielder Sean Shumakowski, and forward Raiden Cristobal. Petaluma also had 2 seniors decided no longer to play a couple games into the year, and that only depleted them more so. Made them even younger. The core is really Tomorrow, Cortez de Leon up at the top. Elvis Gonzalez, the junior captain, will be back for another year. No doubt the future bright. You always wonder if they were healthy, what they could have done this year. Trojans just clear it up. Petaluma already with a bounty of chances early here, no score. This Trojan offense can score, and the Trojans still have their top attackers in Cortez de Leon and Demaro. Brokop just having to clear it away. This defense, you want to be careful. Duff is not a natural goalkeeper. He's survived back there. He's not going to let in anything too easy. But any good effort's going to be awfully tough for the junior to stop. Not at his trained position. Petaluma's dealt with that basically the entire second half of the season. Cortez de Leon trying to cross it. This white wall get in his way. Cortez de Leon, 2 goal games this year. Part of his prolific scoring. Dangerous header. The keeper comes out. The ball is loose and offsides. That's a questionable one. That is the call. Neither team has let up free kicks, goal kicks. Teams have been going fast. Both teams clearly want to play fast and furious. That is exactly what we've seen. There's been no chance to take your breath. And conditioning could be a big factor in this game. Oh, what a back heel. Unable to corral it. That would have been spectacular if that had been nodded forward. Gonzalez will fire from afar. It takes a nasty deflection off the Brave defender. That one's got to hurt. You could hear it from up here. Nice move to get by Schrock. Little give and go. Duff coming out. That's a nice play by the backup goalkeeper, who's a talent too, and by having to play goalie, it takes away one of Trojan's best offensive sources. We've seen Duff at time explode offensively when this offense gets into rhythm. The junior 3-year varsity player is right in the middle of it for the purple and white. Trojans looking for Cortez de Leon. Well, the fancy moves are there, but A sophomore Trojan striker called up from JV. Let's piece it all together. It wasn't like Petaluma had a lot of depth on their JV team either, which they had to shutter a couple weeks ago just because everyone was called up to varsity. They did not win a game all season long before they had to shutter. 10 minutes gone, no score, but this one has been nothing short of excitement. The Braves just haven't cleared away. They've been on the back end of this one so far, trying to get the season sweep of the Trojans and also finish their season with a win. Two young teams going at it, but both have been trending in opposite directions, one with a fast start, slow finish. The Braves, the opposite. Justin Siena 1-2-1 when these teams played previously in Napa. That was the start of the Braves' rise in the league standings, and that really started the Trojan spiral. Cortez de Leon, a little off balance, never got it through the wall. Well, the Braves are not afraid to take one off their bodies. It can be painful as the Brave keeper comes out. Trojans also tied Casa Grande last week, a 3-3 draw. Petaluma blew a lead in that one. That one looked like the Trojans could beat the Gauchos. They lost to them earlier in the year, get some revenge. Kind of crazy back and forth game. Gauchos got a late goal. The Trojans at least got a result. It ended what was a 5-game losing streak that we mentioned dated all the way back to Petaluma's 2-1 victory over American Canyon all the way back on January 8th. Be a month ago tomorrow since Petaluma last won a game. Poor passing by the Braves. All you need is Cortez de Leon to have an open lane and watch him run and give him a shot. Not that time. Shumakowski will nod it forward. The Braves badly need to get into a rhythm here. They've been all out of sorts, all sorts of openings on the back end. This looks like a team that's coming off a 7-0 loss and still playing like it. See if they can get some energy going. There's certainly openings, no doubt, for the taking for the Braves. There's plenty of holes at this point of the year on the Trojan defense that has given up a lot of goals of late. Nice play by Cortez de Leon. Fires! Nice save. The Brave keeper has had a busy evening so far. Cannot be fun for him, as his defense has not been the definition of reliable in front of him. In fact, they'd be the antonym of reliable. Whistle and a foul. That'll be the first foul of the evening. Hope to not see the refs involved. Last night in American Canyon, with girls soccer clinching the VVAL title, the refs definitely got involved. We saw a therapy session last night. We saw some fan arguments with some players. Is this one dangerously sent in? And the keeper coming all the way out to take it. Nice set piece there. Always want the refs to stay out of it. Last night at American Canyon, Trojans won 3-0. Really saw the refs make it worse. If you missed the girls' soccer's VVAL clinching victory, right up on our YouTube channel. Historic night for them, and we'll be right here at Steve Ellison Field the next couple weeks covering their NCS playoff run. It's going to be a fun one. The only team to play in the postseason is the girls' basketball team. Voted as a team yesterday not to play in NCS. Wanted to finish the season on a strong note after a nice senior night victory against Sonoma Valley on Monday. The girls' soccer team will be the team to watch. Of course, wrestling will continue to have their tournaments, and we'll be at the VVAL Championships on Saturday at American Canyon. Girls' soccer will be the focus. Scored! The Braves have scored! Dominated for the most part, but a brilliant set piece, and it's the captain for Justin Siena, who gives the Braves a 1-0 lead, and they're in front in what should be an electric offensive shootout. Goal scored in the 16th minute. And the frustration has to continue for Petaluma. Well, you don't want to fall behind if you're the Trojans, considering how this season has gone. Came out with great energy, but to fall behind early makes things tougher. Jordan Bauman Davis, the senior captain for Justin Siena. There's as many freshmen as seniors on this team, but the senior, in his final game of his career, stepping up with the header bearing it. We talked about it. This defense for Petaluma needed to be very strong because Duff is not going to be able to come up with anything spectacular. He's not a trained goalkeeper. So 1-0 after 15 minutes. The Braves strike first, even though they've certainly been on the back end. The Trojans are going to need to continue to push. One mistake by the Justin Siena keeper, and we could easily have a tie game. Shumakowski mishits it. And now things become awfully interesting for him. Sloppy there by the Trojans on the back end. For a team that has gotten hotter in the Braves, not what you want to do. Bauman Davis throwing it in after his goal. Tell he was pretty excited. This one means a lot for him. For the seniors on Justin Siena in their final game, along with Petaluma. Plenty of meaning, plenty of emotion, and a large importance in this one for them as well. What a move, and then Schrock with the nice defensive play. The sophomore is one of the few players that hasn't gotten hurt at all for the Trojans. Petaluma needs some energy now. They look a little winded. Cortez de Leon is that guy. Amazing, he'll have 3 more years. Juarez. Trojans haven't seen much of DeMauro, who's scored a couple goals in the last couple games. Gianluca DeMauro, the very talented freshman, struggled with his touch much of the year. He started coming to his own. That might be a place to look with the Braves clearly trying to sign Cortez de Leon. So that cross into the net. Side netting. Braves have given up 24 goals, second most in VVAL. It's not a stout defense. There will be more for the taking here for the Trojans. They're going to have to keep their energy up all game. Clearly the senior ceremony emotion of this night, final game of the year, came out strong, but now you fall behind. Question is, can you keep things going? Before the Braves lost on Tuesday to Vintage, they had 2 victories last week, so they still come into this with a fair amount of confidence. 3-1 victory over Sonoma Valley, and then this one is misplayed. A 3-1 victory over Casa Grande last week as well. Also, those have been their 2 additional victories after their first league victory over the Trojans. And clearly, it's a young team, but some talent has started to piece things together. Takes a while. With a good coach, you build and even you learn from your loss, especially against good teams. Napa and Vintage, 2 of the best in the region. Vintage, who's VVAL champion, will likely go to NCS and travel pretty far in Division I, too. Ranked as one of the top 100 teams in California. Will be Trojan balls. Cortez de Leon's ball's knocked out. Mentioning how hard the start of the year was for Justin Siena. They won 1 game in their first 10. Cortez de Leon dipping and darting and scoring! One-man show! He is spectacular! All it needed was a spark, and it came from the Trojan star. 1-1 as Cortez de Leon scores in the 21st minute. He's just a special player. He went right through the Brave defense. Some have trouble with his touch. First couple opportunities, not that time. Brilliant finish. The Braves trying to answer themselves down the seam. It's loose. Duff at a goal. Nice play to knock it away. I think Prokop was able to get a foot on that. Duff was out of net. And we are right back to this chaotic up and down action we've seen for most of the night. It's been fun to watch. I'm not sure I'd call it good soccer, but it's nothing short of entertaining. The Braves trying to quickly respond. Nice play by Shumakowski to interrupt that one. One of the three seniors was honored before the game. A nice senior ceremony. These Petaluma seniors that have been around, they've seen some highs as freshmen. This team won NCS, and they've seen some lows, especially the last 2 years. 3 wins last year was even worse. A worse year last year for Petaluma. This has no doubt been an improvement for actually a younger team than last year. Trending in the right direction, believe it or not. And obviously, Trojans started the year so well. Had a really impressive 4-3 victory over Los Lomas. Only lost 1 game all the way into their loss to Casa Grande a month ago. And since then, they haven't won since. Cortez de Leon takes it away. He's fouled. Hard, too, and in a dangerous spot. This will be 25 yards out, just a couple steps from the box. And Shumakowski, the senior, is going to get an opportunity to take this in a terrific place. The senior center back doesn't have a goal this year, but might have a shot, or he could lob it in to one of the Trojans' awaiting heads. The Braves are going to build a wall. Shumakowski fires! It's off the post and corralled by the keeper. Almost a magical moment for the senior. Oh, that couldn't have been much better placed. It hit the bottom of the post, and just that was able to help the Brave keeper be able to snare it and avoid the goal. My goodness. William Melanson, senior keeper. He has looked like a senior tonight. He's come up with a couple big saves. That's the reason this is only 1-1 right now. Cortez de Leon. Back to Juarez Diaz. Over to Schrock. Well, this Trojan offense is in rhythm. There's no doubt about it. They have the ability to score at any moment. A horrible mistake on the back end. Duff comes out. Just nearly gets a foot on it. Did a nice job getting some air under that so it didn't deflect into his own net, too. Well, certainly Duff's gotten better in the net. He's now had 4 or 5 games to learn some technique, and he's played goalkeeper in the past, but not something he would have ever expected this year. There was no backup for Petaluma. And forward went out. All chaos kind of broke loose. Tried to bring up the JV keeper. That was not going well. And it was ended up Duff was the best option. Hard fought battle. There's no doubt both teams have played with a lot of energy. Look like they've wanted this one badly. That's just a wasted opportunity there. You gotta be smarter. The limited options Petaluma has at this point of the year, gotta play smart. And even if you can't beat a talented team, you gotta be a smarter team, better conditioned team. On the back end, the senior Davis. Cortez de Leon scored 5 minutes ago to equalize the game. Answering the Brave goal, Trojans have been in control of this one. But the finishing has been suspect at times. There have been all sorts of openings on a poor Braves defense. Here's another one. Cortez de Leon getting a little fancy. Tomorrow fell down. A freshman has developed his touch. He has a knack for something special. That time slipping on this wet turf. Cool night. Been a lot of ice overnight. Rain coming back tomorrow. Petaluma lucky to avoid it this year. Or this year on senior day, senior night. Under 15 minutes to go here from Steve Ellison Field. Varsity boys soccer, the final game of the year. The Petaluma Trojans and the Justin Siena Braves. 1-1 the scores. The Braves scored in the 15th minute of a beautiful set piece and header. One of their few chances they've had this evening. The Trojans have had a bounty of them, but it was Cortez de Leon, a one-man solo act all the way to the net in the finish to equalize it 5 minutes later. And really help Petaluma wake up. They didn't have much going until he just decided to do it himself. A little give and go, a little too far. Mentioning the great start for the Trojans this year. Everyone was healthy. They had a system in place. A 0-0 draw to a good Healdsburg team to start off the year. Old FCL foes. Defeated El Molino. Drew with a good Annalee team that will be in NCS this year. Their only loss, so that one's way wide. Their only loss for the Trojans in December in non-league was the game I was at, a 1-0 loss to Roseland University Prep, which you could very much blame on the reffing. There were some very, very suspect calls. Trojans also beat San Marin 2-1, and then we mentioned that their best victory of the year, 4-3 comeback over a very good Los Lomas team of Walnut Creek. Drew at Vintage, team that has not lost or drawn to anyone else in VVAL. Mishandled by Cortez de Leon. So I'm calling for a handball there. And then the 2-1 victory over American Canyon. They fell 2-1 to Casa Grande. Players started getting injured after. Started to get a little bit banged up. They were still all right. I was at their 4-1 loss to Napa at Memorial Stadium. The Trojans played hard, but just had a slow start, and they started to look tired, a little bit worn out. Their depth was declining due to injuries. And it was really after that where they were banged up. A 1-0 loss to Sonoma Valley. That was the game Ford got hurt in. Their offense was struggling, and they just looked beaten down after that. 2-1 loss to Justin Siena. It was the first game without Ford. This one gets all the way through. Tough. Have to run it down. Dangerous ball. And 4-3 loss to Vintage. They fight hard against the Crushers. They can compete against a very good team, which shows the capabilities of what if. How could this season have been? Then a 3-1 loss to American Canyon. Turned things around. A better week last week. They broke a 5-game losing streak with the 3-3 draw to Casa, and then the 1-1 draw to a good Napa team, which was an impressive result, but disappointing. Their defense really struggled on Tuesday night in a 4-1 loss at Sonoma Valley. Trying to go out on top here tonight. So we're approaching the 10-minute mark. 1-1. Probably surprising there haven't been more goals on both sides. This one has been active, to say the least. The ball has disappeared behind a hedge. A little retrieving. Braves trying to get their 5th victory of the year. And they would finish with 3 out of 4 victories on the year. Trojans trying to get their seniors to go out with a win and break a losing streak that stretches nearly a month. Nice job by Davis to knock it out. Here's an opportunity, spiraling towards the bar, just wide. The Braves with a nice build-up, and they've been excellent off set pieces tonight. Those have been their best chances. If you're Petaluma, you don't want to foul anywhere near the box because the Braves have a knack for set pieces, making things awfully interesting. Last 10 minutes will be key here. Trojans have controlled a lot of this one. They can find a way to get a goal. They would really seize momentum. Looking for Cortez de Leon again. And it's going to be Trojan ball. A corner. Only their 2nd corner of the evening. Sophomore will take it. That's knocked out by the keeper. What a night he's had so far. He's been a stalwart in the net. And if you didn't have a good goal, a good and experienced goalkeeper back there for the Braves, they could easily have allowed 3 or 4 in already. Irving Juarez Diaz, the junior, fleet-footed. Gonzalez, the captain, to the freshman tomorrow. The lane is closed, but a second opportunity. Gonzalez playing juggle. Plenty of students in the stands tonight. It's better. Pretty good atmosphere, pretty lively atmosphere as boys soccer goes. As I'd say about 30 students come out to support 3 seniors on the team, and plenty of parents, community members as well. Brave ball. Can't say the same for the Braves. In fact, that's one of the smallest visiting sides I've seen. Count that on 2 hands. That's 7 people. Which is almost as little. I think that's the 2nd little I've ever seen a visiting team bring to any game. Smallest was Elsie Allen football game. I remember freshman year, they had 5 people in the stands. Cortez Leon falls. A no contact. Centers. No one on the end of it tomorrow. Looked like it passed right in front of him, but he just couldn't pull the trigger. The Trojans are searching for one more to retake the lead, or take the lead for the first time. Got what would be huge momentum surge at the break. Dangerous. Cortez de Leon was lurking like a shark. But once again, in the hands of the yellow jersey. Davis has done a nice job on his senior night. There's a lot of pressure out there, especially for these seniors, but we mentioned the defense. You can't afford to make one mistake. The Braves know how to finish, no doubt. This is a team that will score the ball. Oh, Cortez de Leon trying to do it himself, but that time just a few too many white jerseys. Juarez Diaz has been very active, surging through. That pass a little bit off. If you missed our first 2 boys soccer games we covered, they're on our YouTube channel, and same with girls soccer. So it's our final boys soccer game of the season. We've got full coverage on our YouTube channel, highlights on our morning show as well if you don't want to spend an hour and a half listening to me. Cortez de Leon, how did he get through? I have no idea. And then rapidly fired a shot, but right into the hands of the Brave keeper. I have no idea how he got around 2 Justin Siena defenders. He is so stealthy and hard to corral. Danger here, offsides, and that's saved. Petaluma there. Justin Siena didn't like that call, but Duffwood did not look like he was going to be able to catch up to that one. And it was going to be, if you chip, you score. Head coach Greg Lemansky worked on building this program. Head coach since 2009 and certainly had some terrific accomplishments. The 2015 team and the current seniors were freshmen. None of the players were on the varsity team. One SCL and then one NCS. Of course, it was fall, so not as competitive as NCS is now. But historic accomplishment. They were 18-3-1 overall. That team, they were 9-3 in SCL to take home the league title. It was a very good Sonoma County league for boys soccer at the top. Cortez De Leon getting on his course. A tough angle. It's off the heel of the keeper. Demaro again lurking, but he just hasn't been able to catch up to balls when he's needed to. Well, there is one man putting on a show right now for Petaluma, and it is Pablo Cortez De Leon. Now he's got next level circled all over him. I wonder why he wasn't on varsity last year as a freshman. Shumakowski clears that one into the sheets. Trojan team that has just 8 returners, 6 underclassmen, and most of them play, especially with the injuries. Only 3 seniors. It's a lot of youth. Justin Siena similar, though. They have the same number of freshmen as they do seniors. The majority of the team is underclassmen. Last year, they didn't win a game all year long. They've come some ways. Even in some losses, they've had to take more losses. They have learned from that. Under 3 minutes to go. Still 1-1. Cortez De Leon take number 172. He's fouled. That's going to be a penalty. We saw him fall in the box before, but wasn't fouled there. This time clearly fouled. And it looks like we'll see Gonzalez is the normal penalty kicker for the Trojans. We'll see what head coach Greg Lemansky decides. He will go with the senior, potentially to score a goal on his senior night. And a huge moment here, a huge potential momentum shift. Gonzalez has made a couple penalty kicks. Shumakowski doesn't have a goal this year. A chance for a special moment. So we click down to 2 minutes. The instructions being given to the Brave goalkeeper. The tension in the stands is palpable. Shumakowski scores! A senior night goal for one of the leaders of this team. And you can see him basking in the limelight. He's given Petaluma a 2-1 lead and a massive momentum shift in this game. And the Trojans are in front. Goal scored in the 39th minute. Petaluma leads 2-1. They fell behind early, but they have climbed the mountain in a hurry. And if they can hold on for the last minute and a half, they will be headed to the locker room out front with the momentum on their side. Cortez De Leon, have to give him the credit on that one. As he forced the penalty in just pure speed. The Braves have really been totally unable to stop him. Demaro wants it. Dangerous chip, but they're going to call offsides. Foul. Dangerous set piece. It's been the Braves' best recipe for offense. For a team that can score and has scored 11 goals on the season. Expect to see some more, especially of late with their goal-scoring exploits. Dangerous! Headed out by Shumakowski. Exceptional play by the senior. Just scored the penalty kick. Now coming up on the defensive end. That's his specialty. Vocal leader on this team. Big night for him. And a big performance so far for him. Way out. Look out. That was close to me. There's booting into the stands, and then there's that. Well, the Braves might have a new field goal kicker if he wasn't a senior for next year. That one was a good 10 rows up into the stands. The Brave keeper coming way off his line to make the play, but he has been stout. Even with letting 2 goals in, he has not gotten any help with his defense. Cortez de Leon again! The save is made. The performance has been excellent for Melanson, Will Melanson. There is the whistle for the end of 40 minutes. It's the Petaluma Trojans 2, the Justin Siena Braves 1, and Petaluma with a chance for their first victory in nearly a month and a chance to send their seniors in this team out on top. Second half coming up next. Just about ready to go, start of second half. 40 more minutes left in both of these team seasons as they're going to test the Trojan keeper. That was interesting. The Trojans have decided to make a change. Duff now in the offense, and it's the backup keeper on the JV team for Petaluma that takes over for keeper. Maybe the Trojans looking for a little bit more offense. Duff played well in net. Trojans saying, all right, we're going to have some trust. A player that has not fared well at the varsity level, but has mostly played on JV where he's given up a lot of goals too. So we're going Juarez. Coleto Garcia, sophomore, who I incorrectly said was called up. He's been on the team all year. Just had to take a more active role. Another sophomore with Cortez de Leon. Coleto Garcia, 2 goals, including last week for Petaluma. Cortez de Leon with his 8th tonight. What a year he's had, and if not for all Petaluma's injuries, they could have easily been in double digits, but still got a chance for a couple more. Can't rule it out yet. He's got 38 minutes and change. Davis boots it forward, misplayed. And the Ovi's dangerous sophomore striker. Playing a little game of footsie. One beaten, centers, Demaro, spinning wide. That would have been a spectacular one. Demaro just needed a little bit of extra mustard to be able to wind that one in. Trojans at halftime, they gathered up, put their arms around each other. They look very focused all throughout halftime. They understand the importance of this one. They understand the meaning of this. Season has certainly had its ups and downs, but to go out on top, get a victory, final 40 minutes, the seniors could have happy tears in their eyes. That would mean a lot for this team and for this program going forward to get a victory, and obviously a very good VVAL. And for the young sophomores, juniors as well, Gonzalez, chance to look forward, have some hope in the future that they can really compete at the top like they did at the start of the year. They look like it could be a force at the top of this league. Instead, they're going to finish last. I think anyone would have predicted that after the first 2 games. Sometimes sports and the soccer gods have other plans, and that's really what happened this season. Foul on Petaluma. William Melanson has done a valiant job in goal for the Braves. Jordan Bowman Davis with their goal. They're looking for their 5th victory of the year. They've had an improvement over their winless campaign last year. Felipe Nieto in his first year as head coach in the Westside Napa school. Schrock having to clear. The Braves early on have switched up their offense. They've slowed it down a little bit. Trying to get something. Cortez de Leon isn't slowing down. He's taken down in the box. They're going to say it was all ball, and Melanson makes the smart play to come out. Well, the Trojans' offense is meant to run, meant to go fast, and not a surprise that Nieto decides to try to slow down this Braves attack, because they're really just playing into Petaluma's advantage if they're going to play at a rapid speed where it's, a hot potato. Whoever has the ball has to get it away ASAP. "35 minutes remaining here from Steve Ellison Field. Trojans lead 2-1. Coleto Garcia, another sophomore. He's hit hard from behind. That's a foul. It's really the entire Trojan attack is comprised of underclassmen. Considering the success they had early and even the success and the struggles they've had offensively, it really makes it all the more remarkable. Shimakowski. Cortez de Leon trying to get on the end of that one, unable to get the touch. Four freshmen on the Braves, who have a small roster as well. They only have 14 players. Trojans don't have a lot of subs, though it looks like a lot tonight because they've called up so many players on the JV team. But before they were down to 11 men, no subs, and Justin Siena is pretty similar, backup goalkeeper and one substitution that they can make. So that doesn't make it challenging in terms of endurance and conditioning wise. The Braves is a Division IV school, 600 students. The Trojans will have that advantage. They do have more substitutions now and warm bodies, even if there isn't experience. Coleto Garcia. Foul on the purple and white. Head coach Regalansky encouraging his team to talk. You gotta keep communication on the back end. There's some speedy players, some good finishes, and it's not a goalkeeper you can trust much. This Trojan defense needs to be tight on their screws. They've really done a valiant job tonight, hanging on. The lack of resources. Gutierrez rounds it for Davis. The senior intercepts it. And so Duff, who was in keeper the first 40 minutes, was able to hang around and fight. Only gave up one on one that he really had no chance on. Now trying to turn his goalkeeping skill into offense. He's had a couple goals this year. He's a talented player. Plays with a lot of energy, the junior. 3 goals, including a 2-goal game. That is cleared. He's got a picture of the lights there. Hard foul. Trojans don't have much experience in keeper now, with starter obviously out for the year, was injured in the Justin Siena game, which really started the tailspin. Petaluma got so banged up, they barely had a full roster. They had some injured players forced to play in their next game in Sonoma Valley. One of the best, probably, goalkeepers ever come through the Bay Area went to Petaluma High. It's the Braves trying to just clear it back here. One of the best goalkeepers ever to come through. He didn't play on the Petaluma High soccer team, but Brady Scott, who's part of the lineage of the Scott family, Riley Scott, a swimmer also who did swim for Petaluma High, likely to head to the Olympics for that. She's 2020 on her mind. She's at USC as Cortez de Leon dancing in the box. And it deflects right to the hands of Melanson, but it's been a much more slowed down, calmer second half so far. The Trojans able to generate something for the first time. So Brady Scott graduated from Petaluma High School in 2017 and played for the Deonza Force Academy Club Soccer League. Was spectacular. That's one of the top club teams. Decided to play there instead of at the high school, and it certainly worked out. He was noticed, named to the under-16, under-18 team. That's a hard foul there by Shumakowski. And the under-20 team now, Scott's currently on it. He was the starting goalkeeper for the U20 U.S. men's national team, and they're qualifying for the World Cup, and he'll be playing at the U20 World Cup this summer in Poland, as Shumakowski, the senior, getting cheered on, will get a break. Calderon Gomez, who was a JV player called up, will enter. The Braves awaiting a dangerous set piece. This has been their best offense. They've said it a couple times tonight. Very similar position that they score their one goal on. Trojans, you got to have mark a man, stay on it. Short, cleared. Nice job by Coletto Garcia to keep it in. It's going to be Trojan ball. They're out of the woods for now. Much better job defending that one. And it is very similar time, about 10 minutes in the first half. And the Braves struck first. So Scott, the U.S. men's national team, under 20 team, and very little depth at the goalkeeping position at the national team at large. Tim Howard, Brad Friedel, both Howard retired, Friedel older, and there just isn't much depth there. It wouldn't be out of the question, probably not starting, but to see Scott as a goalkeeper on the World Cup team in 2022 in Qatar. Assuming the U.S. qualifies, obviously. Didn't qualify in 2018. Rather embarrassing, though. Would expect them to turn that around. Scott performs well this summer as the top goalkeeper for the U20 team. Certainly beyond the radar of head coach Craig Bellhalter, the U.S. men's national team coach. Could see a Petaluma Trojan alum at the World Cup. That would be something special, even though he never put on a purple and white jersey. Graduated from here, family still lives here, called it home for the first 18 years of his life. Scott was also recognized internationally as well as the Bundesliga team, FC Cologne, Germany, signed him right after he graduated back in 2017. He's mostly played on their lower tier affiliate, but he's got to back up. He's been on the roster. Cologne has now dropped to the second tier in the German league. They were Bundesliga at the top division when they signed him, but he looks like he's got a future in Europe as well. Cortez de Leon just speeding like a race car down the field. It's knocked out, and he's nipped hard, holding the ankle. We have a yellow card, first player in the book, as the hard foul leaving Cortez de Leon in some pain, which caused some concern. There's not been much offense besides him, but he's generated everything for Petaluma tonight. This Thursday night lights. In the final game of VVAL in league overall, and for both of these teams, neither which will qualify for NCS. So this will wrap up the season. Final game of the year. Based on the position, they're just going to take the corner. First corner of the second half for the Trojans. 15 minutes gone in the second half. Cristobal headed away. And the Braves might actually have some numbers the other way here. A counterattack. Not what you want if you're Petaluma, but right now this might be the best offense for the Braves. Foul is called, though. If you're Justin Siena, I think you would have wanted advantage played, and they are not happy. The smattering, that's probably an overstatement, of fans that have made the long journey west here to Petaluma. It's, 40 minutes without traffic, but rush hour in the evening, that probably took them a good hour and a half. Justin Siena will get a dangerous set piece. Prokop headed it out, the junior. Fired! That one had some serious oomph behind it, but the oomph required some accuracy, of which that one did not have. The new Trojan goalkeeper has not been tested yet. Hasn't had to have too much action. The Braves have slowed their offense down, try to help them on the back end, but it does appear to be hurting them offensively, where they're just not able to generate much right now. Team that was shut out on Tuesday night in their loss to Vintage. Cortez de Leon. And you got to take him out, take the ball out. Surprised they haven't put two defenders just to shadow him the whole time. The impact he's had on this game. Calderon Gomez, who has a goal called up from JV, scored in one of his first games. The interception here, look out. Nice job by Prokop just to knock it out. Helpless Petaluma defense reset. This Trojan defense, when they've been in their full set, full players back, pretty comfortable. Given up 34 goals this season, scored 26. Ford was terrific when he was in there before he got hurt. Hard play, and we have a penalty. I believe he looks like he's in the box. Yep, the ref is pointing to the spot. So a penalty for Justin Siena, and out of really nothing, a chance to equalize this game. Oh, the Braves just got a little bit momentum down the flank. And not a smart play by this Petaluma defense. And now, a young sophomore goalkeeper will have to try to come up with a save, or we have a tie game. He'll get his instructions. Jose Gutierrez will score! Buries it in the corner, and we are tied. 2-2. It's been a slower pace for Justin Siena. They made some adjustments, and a foolish choice by this Petaluma defense has knotted this at 2 apiece. Nice play by Gutierrez. No chance for the Trojan keeper. Goal scored in the 58th minute. And for a Petaluma team that has controlled this game, the frustration has to return because they're looking at a tie score. This Petaluma team has no doubt outplayed Justin Siena. They've brought a lot of energy. The offense has been good. It's been one-dimensional, no doubt, at times. There's plenty of flaws in this team, but overall they've been the better team and have to be frustrated by the score. That is the life of soccer.
Can't give up goals, and you got to score when you get the opportunity. You're not going to do much winning no matter how good you're playing. No points awarded for effort or even good play if it's not a goal. Tomorrow with a nice move and then just a poor pass. The Braves now pushing for another one. Well, they would love a victory. Their final game of the year would be 3 out of the last 4 they've won. With this small, young team, be a remarkable accomplishment. Calderon Gomez unloads. Cortez de Leon. The cross. Nice play off the head. That one's got to hurt. And the Brave defender's going to need to find his bearings. But he took one for the team there. There was Trojans lurking around the post and around the net. Even the ref is a little bit concerned. That one hurt. That was the goal scorer, Christopher Gutierrez. Just scored on the PK, making a nice defensive play. Cortez de Leon will take another corner for the Trojans. Do they have an answer? Dangerous. It's still loose. Gonzalez crosses it. Excellent play by Melanson to come out and get that one. If that got by, there was an open net and awaiting Trojan heads. It's been a wild one here tonight. This game started at a breakneck pace. Both teams were running all over the field. There are tons of chances. It is very much calmed down here in the second half. We've reached the halfway point. 20 more minutes remaining in both teams' seasons. And I would expect the pace to pick up, though the Braves are trying to slow it down, but it starts to become frantic here. Neither team wants to come away with a draw in their last game of the year. Nice play by Demaro. Diving in there, poking it away. This freshman is talented. Only had 1 goal for the first half of the year. He has 3. Forward to Calderon Gomez. Melanson way off his line. Not the first time we've seen him do that, but he's a good decision maker. You got to be good in the head to be a goalkeeper. It's a lonely position. It's a hard position. And most of the time you don't get credit when you're spectacular. You only get disappointment when you play poorly. But Melanson has held his own tonight. And his team has helped him out, worked its way to a 2-2 draw at the moment. Hard foul. That might be a spot in the book. Indeed it is. Just stopping Cristobal from going anywhere, who's now limping. Cristobal has been dealing with injuries. All 3 seniors, Shimakowski, Cristobal, and Davis, have been out at times this year with injuries. It's really only up top with Cortez de Leon and Demaro that haven't dealt with injuries, got banged up, gotten tired at points this year. That one will head out. Melanson will get a goal kick. 17 minutes and change. The Braves with a victory would finish in 4th in VVAL. And they would really head into their next season with momentum. Have their seniors go out strong. Trojans trying to do the same thing, though they're guaranteed a last place in VVAL with just 1 victory and a draw. 3 draws, I should say. Fouls on the Braves. Where will a goal come from if Petaluma is to score? Demaro's been on a tear lately, but obviously Cortez de Leon. Coleto Garcia has a few of late. Gonzalez scored against Sonoma Valley. Trojans 4-1 loss. The junior captain for Petaluma, 3-year varsity player. 4 goals, though 2 of those from penalty kicks. Calderon Gomez at a goal last week. Helped the Trojans tie Napa 1-1, which was impressive after Petaluma was pretty comfortably beaten by Napa 4-1 the first time around at Memorial Stadium. They turned it around and got a draw with Napa, who will finish second in the Vine Valley. There's been some games where they've really been able to piece it together. The offense has been smooth, and the defense has neutralized all its issues. Senior Cristobal will take a seat. And there have been games where it's really fallen apart and they've struggled. Ref has been rough at times. Injuries have just been too much and they've succumbed to it. Really is the definition of ups and downs. Feed to Calderon Gomez. A lot of traffic in front of him. Fouled. Well, that's apparently not a foul. And then Calderon Gomez kind of fell over the ball and hit it with his hand. And that is a violation in the game of football, as they like to say in Europe. Cool night here at Steve Ellison Field. Not much of a breeze, but about 48 degrees. The shot is fired, blocked by Prokop and cleared way up into the seats. Oh, a nervy moment there for Petaluma as the Braves scored one goal already on the counterattack, nearly had it again. This Trojan defense need to stay focused. They haven't had too much work to do in the second half, but Justin Siena has the only goal. Keeper coming out. It was awkward looking, but he gets to it. The sophomore's been a little bit quiet of late. Give and go. Now they're going to go out wide. Cross goes out, and the Trojans will get a chance for another corner. Nice play by Wilson there to try to fire it in. Shumakowski will enter. Duff's going to take a seat. The senior will get his final 14 minutes here at Steve Ellison Field. Answer Cristobal and Davis playing the end of long accomplished, memorable careers. Made a big impact on this program, even in the struggles. This whole team, too, has kept their heads up and very much played nobly. Justin Siena will sub 2 in, 2 out. Only 2 players on the bench. All the way through an open net. As Melanson totally misplayed that. Shumakowski, it's taken away. And now a break here. The Trojans need a defensive play. Prokop just gets it out. That'll do. Chance to reset. Mentioning how good Ford was. It's part of the Trojans' success early in the year before he was hurt 3 weeks ago. The Trojans 2-1 loss to Justin Siena. Obviously, other injuries, especially on the defensive end. Swanson was a big one, too. He's kind of the defensive stalwart for Petaluma. But Ford only allowed 11 goals in 9 games. Had 2 shutouts before he was hurt. Some cheerleaders in the standing, encouraging on Petaluma. Cortez De Leon all the way around. Melanson got a piece of it. Cortez De Leon is fouled. We have a penalty. Oh, Cortez De Leon was just dancing, and there's a red. That's 2 yellows. So the Braves are down to 10 men. Trojans not only get a penalty, but the Braves will have to go the rest of the way, a man down. What a huge call by the ref, but it looked right. Cortez De Leon's dancing was just a little bit too much, and it was Jacob Smith who has a very lonely walk back to the bench. So it will be Gonzalez this time. He scored twice on the PK. Chance to give Petaluma the lead. The save is made! Unbelievable! Gonzalez was 2 for 2 on PKs. You can't say it was a bad one, but Melanson guessed right. And if you're, I mean, you normally don't have to be perfect on PKs, but if you're Gonzalez, you really, tomorrow's offsides. If you're Gonzalez, you really would have wanted to place that one either more in the corner or more up in the top, either in the top or bottom corner. And it was a little bit in the middle of the net, and that really did help the Justin Siena keeper, Melanson, who's fought valiantly tonight to come up with a massive save. He's a senior, too. These are the final moments of his career. That could be one he remembers that potentially preserves the draw. Crazy events here at Steve Ellison Field. Under 11 minutes remaining. Is there one final goal to find a victor? The Braves are still, of course, with 10 men. So advantage Petaluma. Tomorrow, Cortez de Leon. He falls to the turf, and Melanson is there. It's going to be hard for the Braves. Counterattacks are, especially with now a man down, probably their best chance for offense. Nice play by Cristobal. Irving Juarez Diaz. Quinn Davis. Luis Caleto Garcia. Back to Juarez Diaz. This has been a beautiful build-up, but the pass went awry. The Trojans struggling right now to piece everything together. Have to be frustrated. They have certainly had the chances to be in the lead right now. It's the final VVAL standings, vintage 11-0-1 to win the Vine Valley Athletic League in its inaugural year. Napa will finish second at 8-3-1. American Canyon locked into third at 5-5-2. That's the team Petaluma beat. And a decent team, too. Justin Siena, 3-6-2 right now. We'll see what happens tonight. They're looking for a third goal. Just cleared away. Casa right behind the Braves, currently sitting in fifth at 2-6-3. Petaluma Valley at 3-7, and Petaluma rounds out the 7 Vine Valley Athletic teams. That's not a foul. Gianluca DeMario furious. That was just a horrible call. It has to be frustrating. He says he hit him in the ankle. They clearly got all ball, but sometimes you just need an eye doctor checkup. And the ref might be headed to the optometrist in the next couple days. At least I'd advise it. 8:30 remaining. Tomorrow, that was a frustrated pass forward. There's 3 defenders circling Cortez de Leon. Some other Trojans are going to have to step up if they want to go here to win it in the closing moments. And the Braves, it would be remarkable if they can pull out a draw considering what has happened in this game. That's a foul. No, it's a foul on Petaluma. Dangerous, Davis, unable to really get a foot on it, kind of nodded it to the keeper. It was awfully awkward looking, but it did work out. And now a word with the Brave attacker. The refs have done plenty of talking tonight. No therapy sessions just yet between 2 people. But there's been plenty of talking. There should be some added time. 7 minutes remain on the clock, but probably more like 9. Beautiful move by Caleto Garcia, but times tonight the Trojans just have worked as one, and Cortez de Leon did score a goal like that, but you make a fancy move, now you got to pass it up. Find a friend. And Trojans sometimes have got into a rhythm personally They just tried to do it themselves. This Brave defense isn't that bad. We're going to be able to read that, recover. Whereas Diaz. And Gonzalez has been pretty quiet of late. The missed penalty looms large. DeMario with a seam all the way through. The freshman crossing. And Cortez de Leon lurking. But Melanson corrals it. Schrock able to knot it up. The Trojans a man up. Think they got to increase the pressure, put some defenders up, increase the pace. 6 minutes remaining, a final game of the season for both. Can Petaluma pull out a victory? It would be their first in nearly a month. And it would be only their second VBL victory this season, but it would be the sweetest. Dangerous man, Melanson. Right into his arms like a wide receiver catching the end of a 50-yard pass as it skimmed right over dangerous heads. Gonzalez nodded away. 5:30 remaining, all knotted at 2. It was a Braves penalty that tied this one up. It's been a much quieter second half. The Braves stuck first, but Petaluma really dominated the first 30 minutes of this game, responded. Cortez de Leon, a spectacular goal, penalty score by Sean Shumakowski off a Cortez de Leon run in the waning moments of the first half. Gave Petaluma the lead. It fell, and now this one will head all the way outside of the box. Davis having to run it down. The ref was awkwardly standing right in front of the keeper, too. I was confused why there was 2 people with neon jerseys. Coleto Garcia. He's got some movement. DeMauro. Gianluca DeMauro. Not enough on it. Skidded that one. And when he gets his foot on one, it can be special, but also seen him have his freshman moments this year. That was another one of them. Davis nods it forward. Coleto Garcia. Irving Juarez Diaz. Gonzalez. Can the captain lead them to victory? Cortez de Leon trying to split 2 defenders. They clear it out. The Braves not out of the woods yet. A nice job here by the Trojans keeping the pressure on. This is going to be exhausting final 4 minutes plus for the Braves. Cortez de Leon loses it. DeMauro, it deflects out. Irving Juarez Diaz, it is saved. Oh my goodness. That one might have been drifting wide, but Melanson was not going to take any chances. Juarez Diaz had an opening. 35 yards out, he decided to go for it, and you cannot question him on that one, considering the effort he put on that one. Nearly with a goal of the year, a goal of the season, and one that everyone would remember here. But a chance for a corner, and the Trojan fans trying to get involved here in the waning moments. Dangerous, it's loose, it's scored! Carlos Gonzalez has given Petaluma the lead. After the missed penalty kick, the junior captain makes up for his mistake with a goal that could give Petaluma its first victory in nearly a month. 1 for the seniors, 1 for the season, and 1 for the record books. Gonzalez goal scored awfully near the death in the 78th minute. Petaluma leads 3-2. Irving Juarez Diaz set it up with the exceptional shot in the corner, forcing the corner. Cortez de Leon sent a dangerous ball into the box. Melanson got off his line, and it fell to the right man, Gonzalez, who had a clinical finish. Can Petaluma close it out? The clock's going to tick to 2 minutes where it will stop, and it will be up to the ref's discretion. The Braves now pushing people forward. They badly need a goal here to salvage an up and down season. They'll push defenders forward. Melanson will stay back.
It's a throw it, fool.
A set pieces of Dangerous. Deflects and cleared. Cortez de Leon has got it. Trojans might have numbers here if he can corral it. And that's a foul. That might be another card. It's a hard foul by Cecido Echeverria. Bowman Davis had the goal for Justin Siena, followed by Gutierrez with the PK. They'll look to those two in these final moments. So they get it forward to Calderon Gomez. And I don't know what the rest have been seeing in the second half. It was a good first half, but I think the cold's gone to them. The Braves clearly in a rush. They've slowed down in the second half, but they have to be full throttle ahead. Exceptional play by Duff. Looking forward, Cortez de Leon. Melanson got it. He never really picked it up. He just cleared it, and now he's back on his line. A nervy moment for Melanson. A couple times he had to come off his line. And that is a foul. That's not what you want if you're Demaro. It's like in basketball in the end. You're giving the other team an opportunity to have the ball, and in the ref's watch eyes, if that made any sense, the ref's watch, it essentially stops the clock. We have hit the 40-minute mark, but stoppage time will add. Melanson now coming forward for the Braves. Can they answer and score at the death? Schrock got ahead, and it clears out. Melanson will have to head back. And they're going to give it Trojan ball. Nope. That's apparently the refs are not agreeing. This is going to extend this game a little bit longer as they continue to have a conversation. And now Melanson's going to make his way back up. The Trojans trying for a signature victory. It would be just their second in VVAL and their fifth of the season. Their first in what will be a month since tomorrow since they last beat American Canyon here. All the way through. Screaming in the stands. It's cleared away. And more precious clock will run. David Swanson, who's been frustrated not to play the second half of the year, helped that ball just go a little bit farther. Any way you can contribute when it's been a frustrating year. So many Trojan players injured. We're well over 40 minutes. The ref takes a look at his watch. They play on. That is it. The Trojans get their first victory in over a month. Senior night is sweet for the three seniors. A leap in the air. And the Trojans ecstatic. A victory that the seniors will remember. A huge one for the program. And they defeat Justin Siena 3-2. A back and forth thriller here tonight. It was entertaining soccer by any means, and Petaluma has a W, only their fifth of the year, but by far their most memorable. Final score, Petaluma 3, Justin Siena 2, and interviews are coming up next.
We are here with the three seniors honored tonight here on Petaluma High's Varsity Boys Soccer Senior Night. And you guys got a victory on your senior night. What did that mean?
Meant a lot since, we haven't really won since early January. And so, you know what? It feels great to end with a win, especially against a punk team like Justin Siena.
Yeah. We got Mr. Chris as our security detail. Shout out to him. Yeah, Quinn, anything to say?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. Got the W, and it was Lemansky's last game as a coach, so it was great to get the win for
shout
him.
out to Lemansky.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, he just declared that today.
Wow. Big news in Petaluma soccer. And you guys, obviously, with all the injuries, it was a rough year. It started so well. How are you guys able to keep your head up and get a great moment like this?
We're not going to be able to play again, so we just got to, make the most of it, dog.
Yeah.
right.
That's about it. Yeah. Shimmy summed it up pretty well.
I scored.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Let's go.
Yes, he did.
It was back and forth game tonight. What was the key to victory tonight? Justin Siena took the momentum. You guys took the momentum. It was kind of a crazy affair.
The key to victory was probably just feeding off the fact that they were just complaining the whole game and that some people like them don't deserve to win.
Yep.
We got the heart and we played true.
Yeah, it was the heart. It was the whole team effort. Just
Second to last place. Second to last place. Let's go.
All right. Thank you, Trojan Live.
Congratulations, guys. John Luca DeMar after a very happy Trojan victory tonight. It's been over a month since a win on senior night. What did this mean for the whole team as you look back on the year?
It's such a nice feeling to come out here, last game with the win, and Lemansky told us at halftime this is his last game with the team, so it was super nice we could do it for him. And it's a great way to end the season.
You're only a freshman on this team. You were playing up top most of the year. What was the experience as only a freshman on a wide array of players on this team?
It definitely took some getting used to, but I had great help from all the teammates, especially the older ones, and it's really helped me through the year with that. And then all my years of club just helped me with the experience and great teammates, great chemistry, and that helped.
You guys had a lot of chances offensively tonight. What was the key to coming out and really putting Justin Siena on the back foot?
Well, we started really strong. We should have finished a few chances, but it's okay. We just stuck with it. And at the end, last 7 minutes, I think it was, Elvis finally managed to get that one to win the game, so that was awesome.
A lot of young talent on this team. Where do you see this program going forward?
I think this team has a great future. I mean, we're definitely gonna miss those 3 seniors next year, but I think we have a good, solid group, a lot of young players, so we can build on that for the future.
Thank you so much, John Luca.
Thank you.
That's going to be a wrap here from Steve Ellison Field at Petaluma High School. A crazy game tonight. A lot of offense to start. Things settled down, back and forth. A late penalty kick in the second half by Justin Siena looked like they might claw their way back in. It would be another kind of heartbreaking result for the Trojans, but they found a way to victory. The Elvis Gonzalez score off the corner kick. Irving Juarez set it up with a great shot. And in the final moments, the Trojans get the game-winning goal. A thrilling game, and just for Petaluma here tonight, something special to get a victory, and get a victory for their head coach, Greg Lemansky, who's been with this team since 2005. I don't think anyone expected, but announcing at halftime to this team that he's retiring, and the team certainly responded. They played for him. They played for the 3 seniors in Cristobal, Shumagowski, and Davis in their final game, and plenty of emotion. They played with that on their sleeve tonight, and it showed. Able to find a victory. It'd been a long one. It'd been a hard one. A lot of hard things going on this season with all the injuries and all they've been through, but to get a victory on their final night absolutely has to be sweet for this whole team. Want to thank everyone that I've interviewed and covered for boys soccer over the last couple of years. It's been a lot of fun making my way out to a couple boys soccer games this year and last. If you ever missed any, they're all up on our YouTube channel for prosperity. That's going to do it here from Steve Ellison Field. For everyone here at Trojan Live, I'm Griffin Epstein. Once again, the final score here in the last game of the year for Petaluma. It's the Trojans 3, Justin Siena 2. Good night.